fine because
Your both are like, it's fine.
it really is, because we've really just been over here taking notes, like just like the smallest things. I think like you just said it like very casually, but you were just like, yeah, one thing that this is teaching me is like finding out who I present. Like just that alone, like just finding out who I present, because that's so true. Because it's like as an educator and as a musician, like, and I think that's who butts heads the most, which is why I'm just always like, oh, like, who am I? What do I want to be? Who do I want to present? And that was just that was very important to me. There were a couple of things that was, but you can, because you had notes before.
I did, but she just be like, it's real life. Before I can get to the, I'll be like, wait now, wait.
Find her. Find her. You, Ebony, find her. And don't, she will scare you when you decide who she is, but when you decide, stick with it. And the children, as an educator, and the adults, as an artist, they will move. And those who can't fuck with it, outside of the kids, because they ain't got no choice,
okay,
find her. Whoever you want her to be.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
Chill out.
Do the work. Do the work. As scary as it is, do the work. I cry every day. I ain't gonna hold you.
This past year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's like, girl, I was like, who signed me up for this cry shit? Like, what is this? Oh my God. I was like, is this what being a woman is like?
Legit, like 28, I cried the most I've ever cried. I don't know what it was about 28, but 20, I was just, oh, this is what I don't get.
Yes. Period or non-period. I'm crying. I'm trying to
cry. Like I'm not here. It's just a Saturday. I'm just crying. I don't really know. I don't know.
I actually cried yesterday for no reason. Not gonna hold you. It's probably one for no reason. I just ain't figured it out yet, but I had some tears yesterday. What's happening? Oh my God. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just let it pass. Okay. Okay, we're done. Okay, we're done. All right. Anyway, so back to what I was doing. It's just
like, I know it's not my sinuses. Like I'm crying.
Yes.
But yeah, I just, did you want to address there was one thing you said.
Quickly,
I was just like, let me not.
Yes, let's talk. I got time. Let's talk.
You said that like you can't I'm paraphrasing, but when you were like, when you can't really compare like the younger ones to yours because you had a job, you had bills to pay, you've gone through this, you've gone through that, whereas most of them have been doing this they've been conditioning their whole life. That is something that I've been struggling with recently. And I think I've been singing for a while, like I've been performing for a while, but I think as of recently, I've been networking and plugging myself into spaces with more singers, younger singers, that is runners, track stars. Okay. They're running it down.
I know a few, so I know what you're talking about.
Sullivan, who like Kiera, Clark, shit, Kiki White, who like they are gone. And I have 3 good runs. I can speed them up, I can slow them down. That's it. I got 3. But when you're in these rooms, sometimes you're like, dang, like, the girls are singing in here. You know, it's just, but that is important because I feel like there was a period where I wasn't really singing like that. It was just kind of like, oh, when I could find time. So I feel like I kind of, the muscle weakened, and like, you know, then I now I got stage fright all over again because I work those muscles. Like I'm like, you know, but at the same time, this is just, this conversation alone is just kind of like, give yourself some grace because like I became a teacher. Like I, you know, just went through these periods where I was like, okay, well, let me figure out how to do this and I'll sing when I can. But in doing that, you're, you know, losing the time to like do all of those things. But also in doing that, you're becoming more experienced in other ways and like in life skills and in, you know, just.
Absolutely. And like, when you, as a teacher, what do you teach? You teach music?
So now I do. When I first started teaching, I taught math. So I was a math,
just to get in the door, sort of. Yes.
So that's how we met, Teach for America. So I started, I taught like elementary, middle school math. But now I teach vocal.
So you're where you need to be. You never walked away from it. Whether you stopped for 10 years, whether you stopped for 10 minutes, whether you stopped for 10 days, you never walked away from it. You teach children vocals. You still do vocals. I'm sure you probably record yourself every now and again just to see if you still got it. You know what I mean? You never went anywhere. Life has just asked you to take a step back real quick to adult, to get some things in order. And the place I'm in now, even my friends who are my age, who are pursuing dance full time, don't have a savings. They don't have this, they don't have that, the things that I have in place because they decided to take dance on full storm out the gate. And it's neither approach at life is wrong, neither. And so we have to remember that one, the life we're creating is our own, but two, remember that God already ordered your steps. You were going to be doing this in this order, no matter what you wanted to do any fucking ways. So whether I wanted to actually go to law school, whether I do it now or at 50, whether I never go to law school, that time was needed to render to one, get me in the door to network with a lot of people that I don't even know if I ever meet these folks again, but I could say I did it. And if I do ever meet these folks again, they can remember this face and they'll remember how kind I was to them. You know what I mean? And those who know and or knew that I danced, they still reach out to me to this day. Let me know when you're dancing. Whether they can help me network to somebody or not, having the support system to build around you is important because when you take that leap, all you got is your support system. Because everyone can say, well, we support you, we'll be at your shows, but no one's really helping you financially on the back end. And so as an artist, everything we do is in the moment. Right. And so while we have that moment, why not have the biggest support system you can each moment you're given? So keep moving, keep singing, keep teaching these children, pour into these kids. My love grew back for it even more because of the kids. Like having to gather them, because of course they think they know everything and they don't know a damn thing. But then it reminds you, one, let me get back into my foundational bucket because some of these things I haven't done in a while. But two, it's also going to make me better. So when I am ready to step back out here with these girls who are running up and down the street in heels,
okay,
with Beyonce runs and ain't missing a tune, I will be able to hold my weight. You know what I mean? With a jog, I may not be running, but I'm jogging and I still sound the same. You know what I mean? And so my favorite artist, Queen Mother Anita Baker. But and my second favorite, yes, my ultimate favorite and like 1.1, because she really ain't number 2, is Jill Scott. But all that to say, as far as you finding you, Toni Braxton, these are women whose octave don't go past a certain level.
That's right.
And got stardom and fandom across the globe. Anita is like 90, still touring, and she sounds the same. You know what I mean? And she stays in her baritone range. So whatever, baby, I ain't heard you, but stay where you at. Know your lane, stay in it, perfect your craft. Try other things, yes, but find your lane and stick in it. Anita ain't left this, she ain't left that. She ain't left it, okay?
She's not actually.
Since she came out in the 50s, 60s, whenever it was. And she was grown then at that time, okay? She was grown then, okay? So, something one of my gay dance dads, shout out to Tony and Benny if you see this, my gay dance dads. I call him Papa. Hey. Papa and Daddy. Something, because they are something about the girls. I don't know, like how they come out and they just do everything better. And I'm like, fuck you. Okay. I'm trying my whole life as a woman to like, oh my God. Okay. So, I asked him because I was having an insecure moment and I was just like, but look at all the other girls. Like, why did you even ask me to be? So Barry, his name is Tony DeBerry, Antonio DeBerry. And he has a like umbrella called Berry Drops, or his berries. So sort of just the girls that he trains with, works on choreo and kind of workshops some things on. And when he's ready to do visuals and or work with artists, if they're like, could you bring us a group of girls? He has a set of girls he could start from. And if we're not available, then he'll go to some other girls. And so I was having a moment one day and he was like, I had on this at the time that we first met each other, I had on this blue bodysuit, and my girlfriend, Keshayla Flowers, and she has this clothing business, and she tie-dyes all the clothing. She is a fashionista and a fashion designer. Shout out to you, Shay. And she had designed this bodysuit for me. And so I decided to wear it to class one day. And I remember I had taken his class one time, and then I had seen him in another class the time I wore the bodysuit, and we were all dancing in the same class. So he was there as a student this time, not as a teacher. And we went around the room, and then the teacher at the time, she had asked a few of us to do it in small groups. And when I got asked to do it, I was placed in the center. Being in the center is a hard spot to get because one, you got to be camera ready, you got to be eye catching, you have to have the choreo down, attitude, confidence, all the things. This wasn't a camera round, but I still was in the front, and it still was a very weighted moment for me, even just in class. Mm-hmm. And he was right in front of me, and I didn't know him like that just yet. That moment happened, class was great, yada yada. Fast forward, I took some more of his classes. He ended up reaching out to me to be a part of his collective, and I was like, of course, I love you. Thank you for even considering me. So I was having a moment one day, and he was like, do you remember that first time I saw you? And I was like, it was so long ago, I have no idea. And he was like, you had on that blue jumpsuit. And I was like, yeah, at Taylor's class. And he was like, all I could think about was look at this grown ass woman dancing, floating, looking like a goddamn cloud, just looking as grown and as effortless as you did, and you just looked amazing. He was like, no one's asking you to look like everyone else. We just want you to look like you, but stand out as you. I said, well, hot diggity dog. Like, was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? Because goddamn it, okay, that was all I needed to hear. And so I'm still finding her as I'm growing into her and whoever she will present, but that's what he meant by that. So like, no one's asking you to look like the other girls. If you're short, you short. If you got these frames and these curls and these hoops, if that's your look, that's your look. Come with the brows snatched, and that's your look. And every time I see you, I know that girl is coming with the fro, these shades, these rings, and she about to belt the house down, whether she's sitting, standing, got a piano, she playing the sax, whatever she's doing. I don't even fuck what. You can be skateboarding or juggling some shit, and you're gonna be hitting that note, and people will always remember that. People remember how you present you. And I can just look at you and tell some gospel up in your chest, just down in here, probably your diaphragm. Where's your diaphragm? I think it's down here. Anyways.
That's where it is.
It's in there. And I feel like I can hear you. So find that sound, own that sound, and be the sound. And that'll be it. Trust you.
I didn't know y'all were coming to church today. I bet y'all didn't know that. I bet you didn't know. I hope everybody has their notebook out. Amen. And we're getting ready to pass that offering bucket around. Huh?
Mm-hmm. So, period. Amen.
Listen, no disrespect to the other guests at all. This has been the only episode that I personally have taken notes. Like, no, normally I'm just like noted, you know what I'm saying? But this one, like, I'm like,
oh, child, there's a little grandma living inside of me. That's what it is.
Yeah, and likewise. Thank you for that. I receive all of that.
Yeah,
oh, that's great.
No problem.
We had questions and stuff.
We did. And
it's cool. We're veerers.
We are. Which is why I'm like, okay, girls.
We can do a part 2 if this is getting too lengthy. I ain't got nothing but time though. I have nothing but time. We can stay here all day. Okay. I can make dinner. You want to see me make dinner?
You want to see me make
right. See, not time.
Listen.
Very good.
Like, take us
shout out. Very good. Yeah. Shout out to Auntie Brown. Mm-hmm.
She's doing a thing.
She is. Okay. You done kind of already about answered anything that I was going to ask further. But
let's just talk there.
To everyone, because I want to think about, like, I want to challenge myself to answer the question. So when you think about your dreams, how have you gone about protecting your dreams?
Ooh. How have I gone about protecting them? So the whole everything as you scene. I like match everything with like an analogy or a saying or something to help keep everything in perspective, because they're like, my brain is like super scrambled. It's like 75 tabs open right now. The analogy or the saying of don't let the right hand know what the left is doing, or something like that. And so as far as protecting it, always move in silence, but like announce it publicly, or however they say that. Like do it under the radar and then like present it to the world. And so if you are not someone that can help me with said project or said journey at the time, because there will be many projects and many journeys, we probably aren't speaking about said project and said journey until said project and said journey is then presented to social media, and they're like, oh, when'd you do this? Oh girl, actually, a lot of times, like I just recently, sorry, I have this weird thing about looking at cameras, so I'm gonna make sure I'm making eye contact. I'm like in thought. I recently picked up modeling. So that's a fun little tidbit. And I've always wanted to be like a dress model. Never like, I have mad respect for the model industry. That shit's hard. So I just wanted to be like a ball gown model, because all I got to do is stand there and look pretty, let the dress do the work. But I recently got asked to tap into some photo shoots. And so it was scary for me. And it's funny because the director was like, you're always dancing in front of a camera. I was like, this is different. And even when that camera comes out, I'm like, what's the first 8 count? Literally, it's like Men in Black when it comes out. I swear to God, and I don't mean to swear Jesus, but like literally in class, everyone like, we'll have it. The run through goes great. And then his name is VJ Lopez. So come out with the camera and everybody's like, what do we do first? Like, what? It's like mind blank. So it's something about the freedom of living without being here. Like if the camera was hidden, I think things would just run much better. It'd be very much more authentic instead of me feeling like I'm portraying or putting on something to showcase something. But that's exactly what art is: portraying or putting on something to showcase something. So that's me getting out of my bag, out of my little closet. So the modeling thing. I also had to get out of that sort of frenzy in my own mind. Like, this is something new, so you will like suck at it for a little bit. That's okay. But my point in saying all of that is, as far as protecting it, I try to find the people that are in the avenue in which I want to go, and then like just follow them. And then hopefully I will get asked to do something because I'm always in the space, right? And then from there, just kind of keep it under wraps. And while I'm in that space, I ask as many questions as I can. And as they're giving me their like version or perspective, or this is what happened when I did X, Y, and Z, I then kind of craft, like I take mental notes and I kind of craft my own way. So I'm like, well, I know there's no one right way to sort of get to like notoriety or whatever in the art community, where you can just be a face and people like, oh, there's so and so. There's no like direct path. But I just try to take note of what I see, what I witness. Of course, my own experiences will be different, but there are some things that are just sort of foundational. So if I try to make my own opinions based off things, but if it's a constant thing, like if someone's like, oh, that dance teacher gives me bad vibes, or when I was with her, she was very rude, and I keep hearing that, then that's just it's an environment I'll stay out of, because I have to protect what I'm trying to do at all costs. There's also certain situations I wouldn't put myself in just because of my own morals. And so like, I've been asked to do a few things that were a little promiscuous, if you will. Not necessarily distasteful, but just a little bit more than I was willing to do. And so for that, I bypassed that and was like, you know what? I actually think I know somebody who could do that for you. She's just not I. But please keep being, in thought for future progress, projects and stuff like that. Another way I protect my dream and my art is, of course, praying. That's first and foremost. I should have started there. But I write a lot of things down, even if I don't come back to it like till like a year from now. I try to write as much down as I can, because a lot of times we see things and we think we remember them, but you don't even remember literally what you ate last night. So how could you think that you're going to remember probably $1 million idea you had 6 weeks ago? Right. There's no way you're going to remember that. You know what I mean? And so even little things like that. So like I've created a playlist on my Apple Music called Stuff to Create To. And it'll just be stuff that I just come on the shuffle. So I have like set playlists, and then I have a playlist for dance playlist for kids. That's all the edited stuff that has a good tempo or rhythm for them to learn syncopation and learn how to move at a timely manner. But then there's a category called just stuff to create to, and that could be up tempo, slow, it could be a movie score, it could be whatever, but things that for some reason just captured me when I heard it the very first time. And I need to do something to that. And I don't know when I'm gonna revisit these songs. Like, what you call it? What's that Beyonce song that they said was in the vault for like years? Beyonce had that one song. It's off the Renaissance album, not Church Girl. Mm-hmm. Church Girl, she had that beat years ago. Someone had already presented it to her. She put it in the vault, never used it. Mm-hmm. And then pulled it out randomly as she was doing things during COVID and was like, oh, this fits this perfect pocket right here. And so stuff like that. I don't know why I just kind of hold on. Like my photo album, I don't even know if this is really protecting the dream, but my photo album is filled with my goddaughter and like shit for dance. Swear to God, like, or like food because I'm on this new food tip, and then like fashion. And a lot of fashion is geared towards things I either want to model or things that I would like to see myself in, or things that I'm using for costume ideas later down the road. How can I take an ordinary t-shirt and make it something? Oh, look at this one girl. She did this very cool thing on TikTok. Let me save this video and download it real quick and put it in a folder and put, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do with it now, but one day it will. So the way I kind of conceptualize it is all these things will work out for my favor, right? So all of these things at some point will become of use. And if they don't, then they don't, but at least I have something to start with, some sort of scrap work to start with instead of starting literally from scratch. Right. And so I guess those things are protecting my dreams because I'm never letting it die. I'm never letting it fade. There's always something that makes me think about dance in some aspect, whether it's a person or a resource or a song or a video or a movie or whatever. There's something that's relating back to dance, and I'm like, I got to do that. Mm-hmm. Let's save that. You know, or maybe I would like to see my kids do that, so I need to learn how to demonstrate that. So let me save this video so that way I can teach them how to do it correctly. My old ass ain't doing it, but they are more than capable of trying it. You know what I mean? How else do I protect my dream and my goals? Yeah. I'm now in a place in my life as I'm approaching 30. I literally just kind of wait for God a lot more. A lot of times we as people will move and we want God to okay the move that we've already made without asking or waiting on the response of if that was sometimes God will be like, yeah, you need to move, but we don't wait for move where. We just go because we heard move. And so a lot of times I try to now, easier said than done, way. Wait until he says this is the thing, and then I do as best I can, because even when I get the confirmation, I still don't even know how to go about it. I just know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but how to execute effectively and efficiently, that I don't know. So then having the wherewithal to humble yourself and then say, okay, well, now how? And who do I ask for help? How do I get these resources? That's another way, because I could say I want to own this dance studio all I want, but if God is like, nope, we're gonna have you on cruise lines till about 60, and then you're gonna break your leg, and you're gonna finally get married, and then you're gonna sit down for the rest. You know what I mean? Like it could be an array of things. So yeah, just making sure I write my goals down, pray on it, wait on his word. A lot of times I feel like I know he hear me, but he ain't speaking right now, and I'm just in the waiting. But just because you are waiting doesn't mean you are forgotten, and it doesn't mean that you were buried. You are planted. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I do those things. Way easier said than done. Wait.
Amen. Amen.
Both of y'all's faces like, whoo, child.
Hey, woo, child. You really in our
really though.
like in our stuff.
Really, truthfully.
And I think that this is such a small thing, but you said approaching 30, and I think about how I've been listening to India Ari since I was in middle school. And
that's why we've been old.
Baby, here I am now looking at 30 and now here I am, India.
Yes, yes.
Like,
yes.
Oh, it's so funny. Like when stuff starts to make sense, like stuff that didn't make sense when you were younger, it is suddenly clicking now, and all of the, the things, the lessons that your parents taught you, the lessons that the other people who raised you taught you, and you're like, this did not click for me at first, but now all of a sudden it's making sense. So when you said that, I immediately thought of that song, like, because here we are looking at it,
Smack in the face.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Did you have any?
Long live India Ari.
Yes.
No, but really.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Auntie Ari.
Stone Mountain Soldier.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Get it together.
I only really think of like one way that I do. I feel like I'm sure I probably do it more ways, but I think the main way that I do, of course, like you said, I'm always praying, but over that thing, because I just don't even know where to take it, where it's going, where it's going. But I do feel like the one way that I protect it is like I always keep the fun in it. Like I keep the enjoyment in it.
That's good.
Like even on days when like I don't feel like going to like a rehearsal, I know that like when I get to the rehearsal and I start singing, like I'm good. I'm joking with everybody, like I'm laughing, like I'm teaching the kids. Like I'm like, not only what will they have fun singing, but what will I have fun teaching?
Yeah.
I'm singing, or like my favorite thing to do is to go see live music. So I'm like, whatever has to do with music, I have to keep the fun in it, because if I don't enjoy it, like that's when I know, like whenever I stop enjoying something, like I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. I know like there are some things you just gotta thug it. Maybe. But as far as like music and like singing, how I protect it is keeping the enjoyment in it. Even when I like find myself getting stressed, like I'm like, like got a lot of rehearsals, like I got 2 shows this month, and I, like I think that's my main way. I just thought of another way. I keep the exclusivity of it. I'm gonna expand.
Yeah, I'm gonna say more about that.
So, for example, there are, and this is no distance, anybody in this city or any city, but there are certain musicians that are regulars at places every week. So like they have a gig in a particular restaurant or like a particular club every single week. And some days where I'm just like, dang, like maybe I need to do that. Like that's how I condition, and that's how they're getting money. Like that's how singers is getting money here. That's how musicians are getting money. They're gigging frequently. Yeah. But I find that in keeping it exclusive personally, it gives me enough time to be like, but I want to put my all into these 2 shows. Like I want to headline 2 shows a year. Like that's when I get the venue, I take care of the sound, because I can be as creative as I want to be. And I feel like in that, I don't give access to everybody every time. So like there are certain people where it's like, I know I'm gonna see them at this club on this day, or like if I want to see them perform, I can go every Saturday to this particular place, as opposed to like, when is the next time Ebo is having a show?
Put me on the list.
I gotta wait. I gotta wait. She not having.
Come on, email.
Like, right, like literally, like she's not having a show till May. Like I gotta wait. Or if there is like a show in the city that they're like, yo, you want to perform? I'm like, yeah, it's a big stage. Like let's go. But I think in keeping it exclusive, so that it's kind of like the life. Like everybody don't deserve access, and I think that like because like music is very popular in Jacksonville, and like we have so many amazing musicians here, I like keeping mine a little bit more exclusive.
Mine.
It's precious.
For sure.
You better
quality over quantity. Really? So for sure.
That's really it. That's
good.
All right.
What about you, Joyous? How do you protect your art?
Indeed.
And your dreams.
I think I protect my dreams because while I was like, wow, I'm not going to be as deep as Jaiva and Evo, but it's really like gassing myself up because I feel like I spent so many years like just on the fake humble tip, you know what I'm saying? Like not really being able to accept people's compliments and not really being able to accept like, no, that was great. That was good. Like you really have a gift in this. Da da da. Being like, you know, not little old me. It's like, yeah, you do. And so I think really when I get in those moments of like doubting myself, being like, no, who else is gonna do it? Like you're gonna do it, it's gonna get done. Like this was put on you for a reason. So I think that is a way that and like I think something that I've always known about myself is that, and this is, you know, not always the best, right? It can come back and bite me for sure. But like when people tell me what I'm going to do, don't tell me that. Right. You know, because now I have to not do it. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you said that I was gonna do that thing, now I have to make it a point to not do it. So like I said, everybody the obvious, like how that could be detrimental. But I think that if it's channeled in a way that's like, no, like I have to double down on what it is that I believe in, what I feel like God placed in my heart. Like that's when that is, you know, I understand why I'm like that as a person. Like you ain't gonna tell me what I'm gonna do or what I'm not gonna do, right? Because now I gotta show you. So and we're not gonna talk about this again. I'm just gonna show you. So so yeah, so I think that's probably my main way is really like encouraging myself and leaning into if somebody else notices, right? So not because somebody else noticed, but in case they do, like really receiving that and really being like, all right, like you right, you might be onto something type thing. So really, yeah.
I've been appreciating this. I'm that girl bag you've been stepping into lately.
Oh boy.
I've like thoroughly been enjoying watching you bloom. And so I'm just like loving this. So just keep doing your thing and we'll support you. Because you are that girl. And I just am so happy you have arrived because baby, you have been for a while. And everyone's self-discovery or exploration happens at its own time. So what better time than in everyone's redo of a Jordan year?
Right.
We have another chance to get it together. So by the time we enter Kobe year next year, everybody need to be flourishing, okay?
That's it.
So,
that's the bottom.
Love this for you though.
Thank you for that. Oh, wait, this is a side piece, and then we're gonna give the benediction. But Monet, when I first met her, it's so funny because she was me. Like, let's keep it a stat. Like,
here she goes. She must tell this story to everyone. I was not mean, guys. Disclaimer ahead of time. Was not mean.
She wasn't mean, but she was a lot more intense than I was ready for. I was like, oh. It was something about some chips. Like I met her at camp and I asked the adult in the room, I said, can I have these chips? And she said, yeah, they were just laying there. I said, okay, thank you. Jaiva comes back in, and at this point, you know, I'm not in the company yet, right? So I'm still a lowly peasant at this point. So I'm sitting there eating the chips. She was like, hey, yo, who took my hot Cheetos? And I was like, you did. I think these might have been
the culprit.
Yeah. Miss Tasha said I could have. She was like, so you just gonna eat my chips? I was like, oh, excuse me. I said, well, I don't even know how that exchange ended, honestly. I was just like, I think we just kind of sat there and looked at each other. Like, because at that point, that was half gone, baby. It wasn't nothing we could do.
I was upset. Oh, man.
Anyway, said all that to say,
I love you now, though. I love you now.
So to close us out, and I want you to answer this too, and I think we can, because I don't think we answered it last time. But if you had to, and I'm gonna do it like this. If you had to make up a song. Oh, sorry, friend. I'm sorry. It wasn't, no, I want you to be, you know, be yourself. If you had
Thanks.
It went up.
I love it, guys. Speak out, though.
if you had to, here we go.
You ain't gotta do that.
If you had to make up a title of a song to describe your journey thus far, what would that title be? Now, hold on, while you still thinking about it, it can either be an original title or a song that already exists, like the title of a song that already exists.
Okay.
So if you were to say, this is
a hard one, friend. You should email me this. This is the one I should have thought about.
No. This okay. Ebo can go first.
You ain't see, I literally was starting to be in deep thought.
Oh,
like I even put the hand here.
Excuse me. Oh, that was the deep thought hand.
It's fine.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like, oh, my journey right now, you said?
Mm-hmm. Either original title track or a track title that already exists.
Sure.
Child, listen, I just asked the questions. Amen.
That's a really clever way of saying I'm gonna.
You got to participate today,
so that I can think about mine. Y'all go first.
Let's see.
I don't know. I don't want to be all cliche because you know.
Oh, I got mine. It's definitely cliche. I got two, but it's cliche as hell. One I would say is cliche for now, and then the second one I'm gonna say we speaking it into the future. Which one you want first?
Either one. It don't matter. Do the cliche.
Okay, so for now it's gonna be it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new light, and I'm feeling good. I heard Nina as I said that, not Chloe, even though she sang.
I heard Nina as well.
Same.
And then for the future, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Period.
You want to be on top?
Yeah.
Yes. Tyra's a bully. If we could just take a moment to reminisce, Tyra was a bully. She literally picked you, cut all your hair off,
and sent you home,
and then was like, "Stop! That's what it takes. Like, stop crying. Like, you just cut all my hair off and like dyed it pink. Like, what am I supposed to do? I have to go back to my job like this? Like."
I missed my college graduation. You cut off all my hair. You dyed my eyebrows. Like,
but now you gotta go.
So I have to go because
I couldn't pose with a snake and not look scared. Like, what?
I have one.
Okay.
Yes. It does exist. It does already exist. I'm gonna go with "Girl, Put Your Records On."
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm gonna go with that one. And not even just on some like play your own music, but I mean, yeah, I guess it can go that way, but mean something a little different too. Like not just put your records on, but like do your thing. Like take your time. Like, and let it ride, you know. And I think that I like how records sound. I like the vinyl sound. I think it's vintage. I think it sounds better than anything else. And it just, I'm gonna go with it.
Shout out to Sister Bailey Ray.
Shout out to Sister Bailey Ray with her curls because she came on the scene
before
talking
cool.
TWA.
Yes. I miss her.
Really, Corinne, she really walked so that the Whisper Girls could run.
She definitely
for
did.
sure. So
Shout out to the Whisper Girls.
Shout out to the
and the thing about it, I wouldn't even group Corinne in the Whisper bag. I would like group her in like the Natasha Bedingfield, Nelly Furtado bag. Like they just made music that's just like, wow, I love nature. Like you know, like
I love nature. Yes, I can feel a sunshine face ass. Yes,
like, literally, like I love outside. Like that's they have a bag. They have a
yes. That was a good one. I must go back and listen to the first album now.
It's so emotional, but India Ari, this too shall pass because we already brought it in, but
that's good.
Yeah, I really like that song a lot. First of all, but I was just thinking of the first like line, which is like, I've achieved so much in life, but I'm an amateur in love. Bank account is doing fine. and then
it.
we do receive it. But my emotions are bankrupt. And so just reminding myself that in this time to like check in with myself, right? So like while I have the time to really just P.S. This looks is giving album cover. Do you see how she's leaning?
No,
down?
yeah, it's
Look,
going
I was
crazy.
like, wow, like just
it's going.
It's giving Carl Thomas. Where's my sweater at?
The link, the tilt, got
the
lean.
Real slide.
I learned that today.
I saw it.
Y'all teach me so much about dance.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, sorry, that was just but yeah. But anywho, it just reminding me to check in with myself and know that like these moments are moments, and every moment has a moment, and then it's the next one, right? So really, woo! And as challenging as they are, and as like taxing as they can be, like knowing that this too shall pass, and so just embracing the fullness of all that means. Like some days you'll be up, some days you'll be down, but know that the day is gonna be over, right? And then it'll be the next day, and then we can always reset. So that's the title of
stuff
right now.
Amen. Good stuff. I like that. That's good. That's a good question.
I must say that this episode of the Auntie House, like this felt like a holiday at the Auntie House. Like this, like we had a house guest. This felt like
a cabin, like a cabin.
Sure, you could say that.
Okay.
I was, yeah, sure.
Oh, you wasn't.
No, yeah, that's fine. I just immediately was just thinking like, because I just feel full and like I feel really good, and it just reminds me of like Thanksgiving. Like it just feels like
where the kids come and sit with us, and we tell them what's going on.
Yeah, shout out to the adult table. Yeah,
right.
Telling you,
love that. Oh yay. We love. I don't even know if that was a real heart, but we did. Okay. It was like close. You remind me of. Do you follow the podcast where it's a married couple? He has dreads. She has. I think she has. No, she changes her wig up every now and again. I'm gonna send it to Joy or send it to y'all's page. You remind me of her demeanor, like how you accentuate yourself, how you enunciate, and your comedic timing. You remind me of this woman. So I'm gonna send her to you guys so you can be like, oh yeah, the jokes are dirty for sure. Love it here. But just her cadence, how she speaks, how she talks, you very much so remind me of her. So I'm gonna send that, and I hope that you can relate. Hopefully, be like, this woman doesn't remind me of myself at all. Like, please, like right on the money.
Yes, please send that. I would love that.
I will. Great time. I told Joy I wanted to be in person, but adulting, right? So, but this did feel very homey. So I like that. I really wanted to us to kumbaya Indian style on some pillows around some candles and some wine, but next time.
Next time. We do have some candles burning. So
I will get some wine because I keep that thing on me.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. I like her. Joey, keep her around. I like her. I like her a lot.
I shall. Oh, Monet, thank you so much. Jaiva, let me call you a real name, child. Jaiva.
Yeah. Anybody's in my comments talking about Monet.
Right. Sorry.
And with the 1 and the 2.
Tell them I'm the only one who can do it. Sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. This has been amazing. It really has. I'm so proud of you personally. I'm so glad that y'all were able to connect finally because, you're two very important people in my life. So, yes.
I love that. I had a lot of fun. So stop.
Yes. Yes. Give her my number. Please text me. Like, let's be real friends.
Definitely will.
Or we can just have a group chat. Whatever.
I love that.
Thank you guys for having me. This is my first interview, so this is fun. I may have some more surprising, fun, new things I'll be doing this year to share with you all later down the line, which may or may not include a podcast myself, but this is my first time being on someone else's podcast and hearing my voice back. It does not sound as nauseating as I thought. So that's good. Thanks. No, but thank you all for your time. Thank you all for considering me, considering whatever the hell you thought I had to say that would be meaningful. I'm glad it was meaningful. And yeah, I'm just very proud of you two. as Black women. First of all, shout out to everybody Black.
Yeah.
Second of all, happy Black History Month. Black History Year, but we'll take the month, whatever. Yeah. Give them both, yeah. Thirdly, this is a very saturated space for you all to be in, but you're carving your own lane and you're making it your own. And I love that you guys, ooh, as you are finding yourselves with this podcast, do it individually. You all have it as a unit, right? But do it in your own lives with your dance and art administration and your music. Do it individually because y'all as a unit, first of all, the rollout for the Aunties podcast is like crazy, okay? Like the creativeness is on a whole nother level. I love the froze. I love the colored lens. I love all the things that you guys do. And so I'm just saying, as creative and bold as you are in this space, do it in your personal lives because that individually is going to make you guys catapult into a whole nother dimension. Because I see you all as a unit, and I'm like, this is going to be something. So just keep with it. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are hitting topics that need to be talked about that aren't necessarily a hot button topic, but still very much so matter, you know? So it isn't clickbait, but it's a conversation that when it's heard, it's like, oh, I need to share this with someone else. So it's good stuff. So you guys come from good soil, and I'm just very happy for you guys. So, yeah. Yay, you guys.
Means a lot, like a whole lot.
Yes.
Sure. I've been a fan since season 1, so
that's perfect.
Genuinely, I have. You guys have glowed up through your birthdays and the evolutions just of yourselves as a unit. I mean, individually. So as a unit, I'm like, oh. So having these individual conversations today, I'm just like, imagine when they just tap in.
Amen.
Literally.
Feel sorry for these hoes because they prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to be sick of them. Prepare to be sick of the aunties, okay? Because y'all gonna be out here.
I can tell you.
Styling and profiling.
Period.
I can tell you.
Well, on that note, y'all, we gonna see y'all the next time y'all get dropped off at your auntie house.